Good morning, guys. Pat here with your move of the day. Hopefully you recovered from that move of the day yesterday with the jacks and the high knees. And no, this is not deja vu. I'm recording several moves, okay? So I'm kind of had the same outfit on that I had on yesterday for you guys, but it's the same day for me, okay? So your next move of the day, okay? Because you got a lot of cardio and you got high knees and hopefully some core work yesterday, probably not too much because it's really hard to remember to engage your core while you're doing those moves. So guess what we're working on today? Yep, going back to core, all right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be planking, okay? But we're going to be removing a limb, okay? So if you think of a plank, you think of your weight evenly distributed on 4 limbs, 2 arms, 2 legs, okay? So I will show you different modifications, okay, so that you can determine exactly where you fall in your plank series. I will tell you that planks are the best exercise you can do for core strength, because what it does is it's working your core from the inside out, okay? So it's getting really deep into those core muscles and it's making your center stronger. And when you make your center stronger, it makes everything else extend out from that core stronger, okay? So never neglect your core, all right? What I want you to keep in mind here is your lower back, okay? Your lower back is going to tell you whether or not your form is jacked, okay? Usually when people start to feel any kind of pain in their lower back, it's because their core is not engaged and they're starting to get that sway back, okay? That's not a natural, that's not a natural curve of your back, okay? That means that you're starting to get tired, okay? And you're either drawing that butt up into the air or you're letting those hips drop down. And either way, if that back is not straight, then you're gonna feel it in your lower back, okay? So focus on your lower back, how it feels, but also remember to suck those abs in all the way to your lower back, okay? You want those two things as close together as possible, okay? All right, so I'm gonna move over to the mat. That's what you're gonna need today. I would suggest shoes for this plank, and the only reason I do is because when you start to remove a limb and you've got your other 3 limbs working, well, think about it, okay? Your weight's evenly distributed on 4 limbs, and now you've just removed 1. So now your weight is no longer evenly distributed on 4, it's evenly distributed on 3. So now it's gotten heavier, all right? And your feet, because you have 2 of them, and your lower body typically is heavier than your upper body, then you've got more weight on your feet. And I think the shoes help just because it keeps everything compacted, okay? And it gives you a little bit more stability. So, up to you whether or not you want to wear shoes or not. Myself, I'm gonna wear them, all right? Moving on over to the mat. All right, so level 1, all right? You've got your knees back. Okay, now notice my knees are right in alignment with my hip. I'm going to walk my hands out far enough, okay, to where my hips drop. All right. Good. Now what I like to do, because it forces people to drop into a straight line, is cross at the ankles and pick my feet up. All right. Now my wrist right underneath my shoulder, and that's on both sides. Notice how you can't see that other arm in this frame because it's right underneath my shoulder, okay? All right. Fingers are spread to evenly distribute that weight. My hips are dropped down so that I have a straight line from my knee to my hip to my shoulder, okay? Now your eyes, for the purposes of this exercise, are looking out in front of you about 3 inches, okay? You never want to have that head down like this. It puts the kink in the neck. And you never want to be looking straight up like this, because then your head is sinking into your shoulder blades and you're going to feel that in your traps, okay? So I want you to get into that plank position, all right? Now where you're going with this, okay, is we're going to alternate limbs on the front. So hips are dropped, glutes are tight, that belly is sucked into that lower back, and my back is nice and straight, okay? And I'm not right here, I'm dropped down so that the glutes are engaged. Think about your right arm, right out, and left out. Right and left. Now I want you to engage that shoulder by taking it right out, and then bringing it right back. Okay? Good. That is your level 1. okay? Level 2, coming up on all fours. All right? Now, as you notice, as you take it up a level, your punches become a little bit slower because you have more weight to deal with here. When we were down on our knees, it took away some of that weight because it's supported on our knees, okay? When you add those feet, now it's a little bit harder, okay? Hands underneath the shoulders, same alignment, looking straight out in front of you, 3 inches. Punch, punch. Good. Now what I want you to focus on here is that we're not doing this. Okay, we're not rocking side to side. Keep those hips square to the floor. Punch straight out, straight out. Try not to rock, keeping that flat back. Good, and then set those knees down. In order to stretch this out, you're going to sit right back into child's pose. So all you do is you push those hips down into the floor, reaching those arms straight out in front of you. In order to release the pressure off that shoulder, you're going to take that hand, walk it under that opposite arm, and slightly lean into that shoulder. And then take it on the other side. Good. And then bring it back up. Okay? Now, level 1 and level 2 there. In order to take it level 3, okay, you won't know this until you try it, of course, you're going to remove 2 limbs, okay? So you're up in your plank. Good, back is straight, up on the balls of those feet, looking out in front. And I want you to lift right leg, okay? Now this is when it becomes challenging, okay? Punch, 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 and you have to remember, halfway through that set, drop that foot down, transfer sides, we don't want to be uneven. Punch, 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 punch. Good, core is nice and engaged. And then set those knees down and set it back. All right, so my housekeepers are here vacuuming down the hall. So what you're going to do, okay, is you have those planks. I want you to do the timer again, okay? What we're going to do is 45 seconds. So set your timer for 45 seconds. Okay, get into position, figure out what level you're going to be doing. Go for 45 seconds. And then I want you to sit back into that stretch. 30-second break. That's it. So 45 seconds on, 30 seconds off. You're going to do it 4 times, okay? Change up your levels. Maybe that first set out is going to be your strongest, okay? Take it up a notch. Try one of the higher levels, either a level 2 or a level 3. And then maybe on that second set, drop back down to a level where your form is not compromised, okay? Because like I said, if you start to feel it in your lower back, then take it down to that previous level, all right? One thing I did not mention that I should have, when you're in that modified plank on your knees, make sure that when you drop down, okay, whether your feet are crossed or side by side, I prefer crossed, it keeps them up. You're not directly on the kneecap because when you drop forward, you're on that meaty part of the knee. It's almost right where the knee meets the thigh, okay? So that's kind of where you want to drop down to, okay? And then of course those glutes are tight and you're down and up, okay? Butt's not up here and we're not doing this. Straighten it out, okay? Now, from here, you could increase your level, same way, okay? Picking one foot up off the floor. Now this puts a lot of pressures on your knees, okay? So you have to be very careful to keep that hip dipped down and under. And punch, 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 okay? That knee is just slightly lifted. We're not way up here. That's another move entirely. That's a glute move, okay? Just be wary of your knees, those of you that are modifying on your kneecaps. Don't be on your kneecaps. Be on that, and everybody's got it. That little meaty, wrinkly part just under where your thigh ends and your knee starts, okay? If it becomes too much weight, then fold a towel so that it's nice and flat, and then try it. Add a little bit more cushion to your mat. I'm on a plyo mat. It's not real soft, okay? So I did feel that in my knees. But make sure you have a soft surface. Don't do it directly on carpet, okay? Because carpet's going to irritate when you start to sweat. So make sure you have a towel or something down there. So you're going to do it 4 sets, okay? And you're going to go 45 seconds on, 30 seconds off, okay? That should be good. Now this is the time when I wish I had a remote control so I could stop that, but now I have to do the unwomanly like thing and crawl over there and push the button. So go ahead and turn it off if you want. Have a great Saturday. See you later.